besties, welcome in. I'm Sabrina for those of you who don't know me yet, and we're gonna unhaul my books. Listen, I don't really unhaul books, but it's the end of the year and I read a lot of books this year and I own a lot of them physically, but I don't need to continue to own all of them physically. So essentially, if I didn't rate it a 4 or a 5, she's gotta go. These books are going to a variety of different places. I have some that I think I'm gonna take to little free libraries. I have a good stack that I'm gonna take to my book club meeting to let the book club participants kind of like pick and choose through them. And then if there are any left over after that, they will go to a little free library. And then I have been suggested that I take some of them over to one of the senior citizen homes, and I have a special selection that I have decided on for that. But let's go through the shelves and see what I'm going to be getting rid of and what I'm going to be keeping, and this will be basically the only unhaul you ever see from me all year, so it's special. All right, let's start on this end. I should mention I've got the Kallax 4x4 here, and so this is my office bookshelf. This is where the red books are gonna live. So the ones that I'm keeping have to fit on this shelf, and it's not exactly empty already, so here we go. Anyway, starting with Wicked. I'm gonna unhaul her. Listen, I owned this one for a very long time. I finally read it and I didn't have that great of a time. The movie was better. I can't believe I'm saying that. Absolutely keeping this one. In fact, I read it on my Kindle and I went and got myself a shelf trophy of it. Also, same deal here. Kindle read, got a shelf trophy, so I'm keeping them. I will be keeping this one. It's part of a series and I loved it. I think book 2 is on loan to somebody else, so I'm keeping this shelf trophy. This one fell all the way into the trash can, which is kind of funny because I'm getting rid of it. Now, I have annotated this and I'm debating something. Would anyone be thrilled to get an annotated copy of a book out of like a little free library or given to them maybe at the senior citizen home? I think that I would love to get an annotated copy of a book just to like see what the original author was thinking. But you guys let me know in the comments, like, is that weird or like, should I do it? But she's got to go either way. I don't need to keep this. Keeping because it's autographed and I liked it. You know it's a keep. You know, I rated this in the 4s. I rated it a 4.5. And so technically that means I should keep it, but I'm not sure that I really need to hang on to it. I think I'm going to let her go on to somebody who would appreciate it more. I'm never going to reread it. I'm still in the middle of this series. It's probably going to go when I'm finished, but I want to unhaul the whole series together. She's leaving. Another annotated one. So I have to decide what I want to do with it. Absolutely keeping. This was an imported shelf copy. I wanted the UK version because their cover is way better than ours. Keeping because I'm building my V.E. Schwab backlog. The Melissa Blair series, I'm absolutely keeping. I love every single moment about this. I mean, I gave it a 4, but like, I don't really care to keep this. It was all right. It was mostly just messy. So I think I'm gonna get rid of it. More series picks, like I said, probably gonna unhaul it, but I gotta finish the whole series first. And then the conclusion to the Melissa Blair series, the Halfling Saga, I'm definitely keeping. Don't ever question whether I'm keeping Kennedy Ryan. It's always a yes. Yeah, I'm keeping him. I'm keeping him. This was a good 5-star read. And I listened to that on audio, but I kind of want to go back and like not read the book, but I want to like look through the book. Like sometimes I'm just curious, like how do we spell such and such? Like I don't know how that's spelled. So that's a book that I can see myself revisiting at some point in the future. She's going to greener pastures. I'm absolutely keeping this one. Plus it's signed. I love this book so much and I don't even think that I knew that I would. Like I picked it up on a whim and I was like, it's short, whatever. In love with this, so I'm absolutely keeping it. I rated this one a 4 stars, so technically I should keep it. I don't really see the need to keep it, but it's my husband's book, so we're gonna keep it in our inventory. He has his own shelf. Right here. I reshelved it. All right, we have our first venture into the Adrienne Young universe, and I will be keeping her. Duh, I'm keeping it. And this one I also read on my Kindle, but I got a shelf trophy because it was that freaking good. Like I was so taken by surprise by this book, but yeah, she's staying with me. Nah, she's going. I don't even remember what I rated it a 3, so she's gotta go. Emily Henry's Beach Read. It didn't make it to a 4-star, which is technically where I need to keep it. But I think it's is it The People We Meet on Vacation? I have another book that matches this style and I haven't read it yet. So I'm gonna hang on to this one until I finish the other one, and then they'll probably be unhauled together. Like I say probably because if I rate the other one very highly, I might keep them so that they look aesthetic together, but she's probably gonna go when her sister goes. Do I have multiple copies of this book? Yes. Am I gonna unhaul this one? No, because listen, I have is it the Fairy Loot edition? I think it's the Fairy Loot. I don't have a subscription. I bought it off of somebody who didn't like the book. I have that edition of it, which is stunning, but then this edition is signed. So I have to keep them both. I don't need this kind of trauma in my life. She can go. And this one's annotated too, so she can go. I don't overrule. I didn't love it. 7 Days in June, definitely keeping this. I gotta get me some more Tia Williams in my life. These books falling in the background are really killing my vibe. Main characters, this can go. I don't need this. This one is going straight to Never Never Land. I do not want to keep this book. I don't even want to talk about this book. This was terrible. Somebody out there is gonna love it though. She was cute. I rated it pretty highly, but I don't feel the need to hang on to it. I don't think I need to keep this for any real reason. The Final Gambit, you know, let me confer with my husband because this was kind of like a joint read, and for me personally, I don't need to keep this book, but all right, he said we don't need to keep this book, and so I'm gonna, with it, unhaul the other 2. So that's 3 books that are leaving my house. And I mean, someone will love this. People love this series, so someone can find all 3 of these together and enjoy them the way that I could not. Blood Over Brighthaven. I could not talk enough about this book, so she's staying, and this was a shelf trophy too. I read this one on Kindle. The Names, I'm gonna keep this one. I rated it a 4-star. I don't really necessarily need to keep this one. However, this was the first read for my own personal book club. So like for me, that feels like a triumphant moment. Like I created a book club, people showed up, it was such a good time, and this is the book that we read. So it's kind of like a trophy for my accomplishment, if that makes sense. One day, everyone will have always been against this. I'm absolutely keeping this. I read this as a library checkout and then I had to go buy my own copy. And despite how small it is, I paid like nearly $30 for this because it was that freaking good. So yes, we are keeping this one forever. And I will probably actually reread this at some point. I don't really reread books, but this one is at the top of the reread list. She can go. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one too. I'm torn on this one. I'm not sure. It's like I want to keep it, I think because she's cute, but the story itself wasn't really that fantastic. What did I rate this? I rated it at 3.5. I should get rid of it. But like, for some reason I want to hang on to it. I don't know what the reason is. Get rid of it. I'm getting rid of it, okay? I think it's because it's cute. The Four Winds, I'm keeping, and I'm gonna start a little Kristen Hanna shelf because I like all of her books. I love. I read The Women on my Kindle, and I think I need a shelf trophy of The Women to go along with this one. Oh, you know what? This one I listened to on audio, so this is also a shelf trophy. This was unintentional. I think I listened to it on audio while I was sitting at the bookstore, and then I was trying to immersive read while I was sitting there with a free copy, and then my husband just bought me the copy anyway, even though I said that I was not going to buy the copy. He just threw it in the cart, so she's kind of a shelf trophy too. Keeping. I'm pleasantly surprised that I love this book. I thought it was going to be so-so, but I loved this book, so keeping it. The Library at Hellebore, no, it didn't do anything for me. In fact, it kind of made me queasy with all the body horror, so she's going on to greener pastures. The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina, I enjoyed this book. In fact, I rated it 4 stars, but I don't think I need to keep it on my shelves. Like it's not a book that I think about on a frequent enough basis to like warrant keeping it, so she's gonna go. How to Sell a Haunted House. I don't know what I feel. I feel like I rated this really highly. I rated it 4.5 stars. Do I want to keep this? No, you know what? Because Grady Hendrix pissed me off in the other book that we're going to get to in just a second. So this is going to go. Skin of the Sea, I'm going to keep this. It's a Black Mermaid, and I have book 2 that I need to read. Blood Moon. I liked this. I'm going to keep it, and I can't wait for book 2 to come out. I loved this book, A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. I love this book with everything in my soul. I will be keeping this forever. Told you this man done pissed me off. I wanted to like this book so bad. I liked the concept of it, but I just, I ended up rating it a 2 because I was so pissed off when I read this book. So he's gonna go along with his brother. I really like this book and I have the rest of the series that I need to read, so I'm keeping it. Carmilla, I read it, I liked it, I don't need to keep it. I just don't care that much about it. I mean, I rated it 5 stars, but I don't need it. Terror at the Gates. What did I rate this? I rated this a 3.5. I am moderately interested in reading the follow-up book to this. I kind of want to keep it because it is, I mean, it's a signed copy. I mean, it was like mass signed, but because it has a misprint, the signed copy page is bound into the book incorrectly. And to me, that makes it a little bit special. And so like, I kind of want to keep it for that reason. I think I'm going to keep it a little bit longer, at least until the second book comes out and I can decide whether, like, if the second book is like really, really good, then of course I will keep this along with it. If the second book is meh, then they're both going to go. So we'll keep her a little bit longer. This book was terrible. I have been carrying this book around with me move after move after move since 2017. And this will be the last place that this book ever sees me, okay? She's going to die. She's going to the graveyard. This is over with. Carmilla the First Vampire. This was my first graphic novel. The pictures were distracting. The story was amazing. That's a personal thing. Like, I think I just don't know how to focus on a graphic novel. There was nothing wrong with this. It's me. Let me ask my husband if he would be interested in reading this. Otherwise, I think I'm gonna unhaul it. You wanna read it? He said he'd be interested in reading this, so I'm gonna keep this for him. And if he doesn't like it, he can unhaul it. Keeping. I loved it so much. I'm gonna keep this one. It was frustrating to read. There was like no real resolution, but there's 6 more books in this series. So I'm gonna keep this until I can go through the rest of the books and figure out if I like it or not. She's going back to a little free library because that's where I found her and she should have stayed there the first time. And finally, I love this one so much. I am so thrilled that I finally read this and I loved every minute of it. So she'll be staying with me. I'm keeping this one. All right. My statistician has done their job and we have some statistics on these books here. Of course, this is just the physical books that I own that I read in 2025. And so for the year, I've read 136 books total. And so out of those 136, 89 of those were physical books and 47 were digital. So that's either Kindle or audio. And so that means that of what I read this year, 65% was physically read. Go me. She likes to hold a book. So behind me, the books have been separated into some categories. We have the keeps, we have the unhauls, and let's start on the unhaul side, shall we? All the way over here, we have our bad books. These ones have to go, honey, because they're terrible. In fact, there are 6 books in this pile, and the average rating of these was a 2.6. That's not good. This section here are the mid books. They were like okay-ish, but like, I mean, they were mid. Like, that's why it's called mid. So in the mid category, in the mid unhaul category, we have 14 books. And they had an average rating of 3.5. So like I said, they were super mid. I just do not need to keep these. And then the last uncalled category is the good category. These were good. I just don't need to keep them for any real reason. And so I'm gonna alleviate the space on my shelf from having to hold them. And so this category had an average rating of 4.5. I mean, see, they were good. Like that's pretty incredible that like I want to be honest with you, I don't do stats. I am married to a statistician, okay? So this is based on my vibes, and then he did all the stats for me. And so those are pretty much lining up. Like the average ratings are lining up with what I'm calling them. Let's see if that holds true for the books that I'm keeping. Okay, I had to make the camera angle a little bit weird because the Love It pile is really, really tall. But Starting with the books that I'm keeping, we have 3 categories here, and the first one is going to be the books that I'm keeping because they're part of a set and I'm not finished with the set yet. There are 5 books and they have an average rating of 3.3. So I'm not like super in love with these books, but I do want to get through the series to see if maybe that like improves their chances of being liked. You know what I mean? Because you can like a series even if you don't love every single book in the series. The second category that we have are the like it. These are books that I liked. I like them a lot, but they're not like, oh my god, so amazing. But I like them a lot and I really want to keep them. So in this category, there are 13 books and they have an average rating of 4.3. So, I mean, these were good. And then I already changed the camera back, but the last stack is very tall. And that is my love it category. I am encouraged by the fact that it is the tallest stack of books. So that means I do a pretty decent job of picking out books that I'm gonna like. And in this category, we have 21 books with an average rating of 4.8. So again, I made these columns based on vibes and the math checks out. The math is mathing, y'all. So this is good. We're doing great for ourselves. So of all the physical books that I read in 2025, 32% of them are in the love it category. Like I love them so much. That's not bad. I mean, I probably should have had him check of like my overall, like between all of my books, like both physical and digital, like what the percentage of love was. Maybe I can have him run that stat off camera and I'll just like insert it right here. Yeah, let's do that. So like of my like 5-star, like I loved it so much, this is the percentage of like my overall reads that I absolutely loved, including my digital reads. And so, since this is an unhaul video, I know what you're waiting to hear. My percentage of unhauls versus keeps for the year 2025 of my physical books. I'm keeping 62% of these reads. Now, that's because I like them. So, I mean, should I be unhauling more because I own an incredible amount of books? Maybe. But like, if we're building a library, we got to keep the good ones, right? And so I think I did a pretty good job of that. Now, somebody come help me because this is the bookcase that they have to go on. And she doesn't really have any space. So I got to get this 62% of books onto this bookshelf somehow, some way. Maybe I will work on that and show you the final product because I'm not really sure. I need to buy a new house so I can get a bigger bookcase. You just start another mortgage. Can I buy another house to just be my library? Like, I'm not gonna move. I don't want to move my stuff, but we'll just take the books over there and it'll be like a physical library.
There's a storage unit across the street.
He said there's a storage unit across the street. Listen, I don't think I can put my books in storage. They need a home.
No, but you put everything else in storage, so you can put books here.
Oh, that's actually such a good idea. He said we just put all the rest of this junk in storage and just have books. That's all we're gonna have in the house is books. There's not gonna be any place to sit or sleep. It's just gonna be books. So, okay. Oh, there's one more stat that I forgot to tell you guys about. So if we look at my unhauls altogether versus my keeps altogether, the average rating of the entire unhaul pile, like both the bad, mid, and the good, is going to be 3.4. But if we look at the average rating of all of the books that I'm keeping, the ones in the series, the like it and the love it, that's going to be 4.3. So they're the inverse of each other, but but in the right direction. But here's the probably my favorite part. Even though we have some really truly terrible books here, we look at all of the physical books that I read for 2025. The average rating is 4 stars. So I had a good time reading in 2025 is the point of that. And I'm a good times reader, so success. All right, so that's how we do unhauls here at Sabrina Reads and Roams. It's a little dramatic, but it's super fun. And what's the point of being married to a statistician if you can't throw some stats into a video? So with that, I will say thank you for hanging out with me. Like and subscribe to this video so that you will be notified next year when I do my annual unhaul video. And all the videos that come in between this one and that one. And I will see you guys all in the very next video.
Sleigh bells ringing, diamonds blinging, carols singing, favorite season. Sleigh bells ringing, diamonds blinging, carols singing, favorite season. They said, say Nick, what you got up in that bag, yeah. I got racks in my sack or in my bag, yeah. They said, say Nick, what you got up in that bag, yeah. I got racks in my sack or in my bag, yeah. I'm frozen, neck is frozen. Catch me rolling, I'm the chosen. Snow is falling, Elfie's calling. Check my list twice, most of y'all done. Sleigh bells ringing, diamonds blinging, carols singing, favorite season. Sleigh bells ringing, diamonds blinging, carols singing, favorite season. They say Nick, what you got up in that bag, yeah. I got racks in my sack or in my bag, yeah. They say Nick, what you got up in that bag, yeah. I got racks in my sack or in my bag, yeah.